Om Sadashiv-Samārambhām Shankaracharya-Madhyamām Asmadacharya-Paryantam Vande Guru-Paramparam. That we'll one shloka for now. So we are seeing these Gita Dhyan shlokas, and we have seen up to 6 shlokas up till now. So first we will chant these and then we continue further. You can chant after me. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata
Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata
Narayanena Swayam
Narayana Swayam
Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina
Vyasena Gaditam Purana Munina
Madhye Mahabharatam
Madhye Mahabharatam
Advaitamritavarshiniim Bhagavatim
Advaitamritavarshini Bhagavati
Ashtadashadhyayiniim
Ashtadashadhyayini
Amba Tvamanusandadhami Bhagavat
Amba Tvamanusandadhami Bhagavad
Gite Bhavadveshini
Gite Bhavadeshini
Namostute Vyasa Vishal Buddhe
Namostute Vyasa Vishal Buddhe
Fullaravindayat Patra Nitra
Fullarvindayata Patra
Yena Tvaya Bharat Taila Purnaha
Yena Tvaya Bharatayila Purnama
Prajwalito Jnanamaya Pradipaha
Prajwalito Jnanamaya Pradipa
Prapanna Parijataya
Prapanna Parijataya
Totra Vetraikapanaye
Totra Vetraikapanaye
Jnanamudraya Krishnaya
Jnanamudraya Krishnaya
Gītāmrita-duhe Namaha
Gītāmrita-duhe Namaha
Sarvopanishado Gavo
Sarvopanishado Gavo
Dugdha Gopalanandanaha
Dugdha Gopalanandana
Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta
Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta
Dugdham Gītāmritam Mahat
Dugdham Gītāmritam Mahat
Vasudeva Sutam Devam
Vasudeva Sutam Devam
Kamsacharūramardanam
Kamsacharūramardanam
Devaki Paramanandam
Devaki Paramanandam
Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum
Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum
Bhishma Drona Tata Jayadrith Jala
Bhishma Drona Tata Jayadrith Jala
Gandhar Nilotpala
Gandhar Nilotpala
Shalyagrahavati Krapena Vahani
Shalyagrahavati Krapena
कर्णेन वेलाकुला
कर्णेन वेलाकुला
अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा
अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा
दुर्योधनावर्तिनी
दुर्योधनावर्तिनी
सुतीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी
सुतीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी
कैवर्तकः केशवः
कैवर्तकः केशवः
पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलम्
पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलम्
गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटम्
गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटम्
नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा
नानाख्यानकेसरं हरिकथा
सम्बोधनाबोधितम्
सम्बोधनाबोधितम्
लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरहः
लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरः
पेपीयमानं मुदा
पेपीयमानं मुदा
भूयाद् भारतपङ्कजं कलिमल
भूयात् भारतपङ्कजं कलिमल
प्रध्वंसि न श्रेयसे
प्रध्वंसनो श्रेयसे.
So the seventh one is where we have to see. So in this shloka, Madhusudan Saraswati ji is praising and glorifying Mahabharata itself. And he very poetically is comparing it to a lotus flower. A lotus flower because a lotus flower is so beautiful and our senses get attracted to it. Lotus flower also is very auspicious religiously. It is used in the religious puja ceremonies and all. And philosophically, a lotus flower is teaching us a lesson because it grows in all those marshy areas, but it remains untouched by its surroundings. That is how we are supposed to live our lives, So lotus flower is of very importance in our philosophy, It is used very often. So here he's comparing Mahabharata with the lotus flower. Here actually Mahabharata is got the status of the fifth Veda, Ved Panchama, but it actually comes under the scriptural literature called Itihasa. In Itihasa, there is an Itihasa is partially based on true life stories. Not everything, it is partially based, so some events from a true life are taken, they are modified for their presentation so that a historical story of both fact and fiction is created. Itihasa, iti means this is how, hasa, this is how it happened. It happened, this is how it happened in history, that's Itihasa. So Mahabharata is an Itihasa. It is called Bharata because it is based on the story of Bharat Vamsha, the Bharata dynasty. It says Bharat Vamsha Adhikritya Pravratham Bharatam. And it is called Mahabharata because it is a voluminous scripture of 1,00,000 verses in it. Like really one of the most biggest literature we have, So it is called Mahabharata for that. Now there is a wrong conception amongst blind believers, the blind believers who don't study anything, just believe things. It seems they say that you should only keep Ramayana at home and study Ramayana at home and not Mahabharata, because if you study Mahabharata, there's going to be Mahabharata at home, like if people will fight and quarrel. No, Mahabharata is such an auspicious literature, it is a scripture. And a person who can actually assimilate the wisdom which is given in it, how can he fight? Only the unwise people fight, the wise people don't fight. So this is just a misconception to be cleared, because lots of people will not keep Mahabharata at home. So here, Madhusudan Saraswati ji says in the last line, we'll see the last line first, Bhuyat, Bhuyat means may it be, Bharat Pankajam. Pankaj means again a lotus flower. Pankaj is made up of two words, Pank, Ajam. Pank is that slush, Ajam, it is born in that slushy area, Pankajam. So this Mahabharata lotus, now you have to imagine the Mahabharata as a lotus flower, So this Mahabharata lotus, may the study of this be Nah Shreyase, for our good. Nah means us, Shreyas is that which is supposed to be good for us. Now the good over here, as per people, what they consider good, belongs to two categories. One is preyas and the other is shreyas. Preyas is that which gives us pleasure, and pleasure is always temporary. And so it is addictive also, because it's temporary, we want to just go on repeating that experience again and again. So in the long term, preyas is not what is good for us. Shreyas is good for us. Shreyas is that which is good for us in the long term. And Shreyas is again of two types, relative Shreyas, which is good for us in this world. All that which is Mangalam for us in this world, which will good for our well-being, for our happiness here in this world. And the other is absolute Shreyas, which is moksha, gets you out of the world. So here, may the study of this Bharata Pankajam be na Shreyase, may it be good for us as both relative Shreyas, in this world may we live comfortably, and eventually we should be able to get out of this world, because it is Kalimala Pradvamsi. Pradvamsi is the destroyer of Kalimala. Mala is the impurities, and Kali is the Kali Yuga. The word Kali means that which is selfish and evil. We are living in Kali Yuga. So here, people are all caught up, living selfish lives. They are driven by their likes and dislikes, their raga, dvesha. They don't follow dharma, adharma. Most of the people don't even know that you're not supposed to live as per your likes and dislikes. You hear people talk, I like this, I don't like this. I don't like this, so I don't want to do it. I like it, so I'm going to do it. They don't know it is wrong, and most of the people are talking just like this. I'm not going to do this. I don't like it, Children turn around and tell their parents, I'm not going to do this. It's my life. They tell you it's my life, You produce them, round the clock you're there for their welfare, working so hard for them. You are the one who's looking at their future for their well-being, and they just turn around and say, no, I'm not going to do this, because it's their life. This is Kali Yuga. So in Kali Yuga, there is more of materialism here, People live a life of convenience. They compromise with dharma. Why? This is how it is done. If I don't do this, I'm not going to get my promotion. I can get kicked out of the job. This is wrong. He knows that. But no. I can't avoid. I have to do it. This is what everybody does, So it's a life of convenience. There's valuelessness, in Kali Yuga. Presently what is going on here, Cutthroat competition. They can do anything for their benefit, even kill a person. Fight, quarrel, jealousy, prevalent all around, This is taken as normal. Even in sports, there's so much of, we hear it, not always, it's sometimes betting, cheating, unhealthy competition. So these are the signs of Kali Yuga. The homes are not stable today. At the drop of a hat, the relationships break because each is bothered about their own selfish gains, No, this is not how it's going to be. To have a stable home, so much of sacrifice has to be done, It's not a joke to keep this home together. A happy home involves somebody's huge sacrifice. Somebody has sacrificed so much so that that home can be like that, Today parents both are working, there's so much of money that they go on buying things for the children, small children, what all they have today, and then there's peer pressure for them because everybody has, so this child also has to go and get it, So this is not a healthy, happy home, And tomorrow when these children, if their desires are not fulfilled, because the parents are busy fulfilling all the desires, they are compromising, they are not available for the parents, too busy in work, then parties and holidays, too much is going on in their lives, so they are not available for the children, and to make up for that, they keep buying them gifts, and the child has got used to getting everything in life, and tomorrow when his desires are not fulfilled, then there are grave mistakes the kids make. We read it all the time in the newspaper. Somebody's gone and committed suicide because he didn't get a bike. Somebody's gone and killed the mother because he didn't get a cell phone. This is what is so prevalent. So a child coming from such a broken home is going to have psychological problems. And such a child goes to make the society, so the society is going to have sociological problems. So the mala, this is the mala of Kali Yuga, and the antidote, the medicine for that is the wisdom given in Mahabharata. So may this Mahabharata lotus be for our good, because it is going to destroy the mala of Kali. So if we study this scripture well, it should enrich our personalities. It should transform our personalities. We should grow emotionally, intellectually, spiritually. There has to be growth in us, And this is what the scriptures do. So you have to study the scriptures. But unfortunately, the wise come to study the scriptures, and the otherwise they don't come. They are the ones who need the scriptural education, So may, it is a prayer by Madhusudan Saraswati ji, that may this knowledge really change our world, change the people, and change this world we are living in, Then the other three lines, it's all full of adjectives praising Mahabharata, So first line says, Parasharya Vachaha. Vacha is the words of, and Parasharya is the father of Vedvyasa ji, is Rishi Parashara. And Vedvyasa ji, who is the avatar of Bhagavan Vishnu, and who has this mind-boggling knowledge, is being addressed as the father, as the son of the father. This goes to show what? The respect we are supposed to have for our parents, like no matter what you achieve in life, you are the son of that father. He has made you what you are, So, Vedvyasa ji's words are Saroj. Saroj is the lotus. This lotus Mahabharata is the words of Parasharya's Vacha, his words, which is Amalam. Mala is the impurities, and Amala is that which has no impurities. So this lotus, this special lotus flower, which is the Mahabharata, is Amalam. It is pure, it is Shuddham, it is Dosha Rahitam, no defect in it. Defect from the point of teaching, its message, its language, its grammar. In this huge scripture, there's not even a mistake of a matra. It is that Shuddham, pure, Amalam. So this is the lotus flower, which is Amalam. Then Gitarth Gandh Utkatam. The arth of Gita is the Gandha, the fragrance, Utkatam, which is coming out of this lotus flower, So every flower is attractive to us because it looks so pretty, and because of the fragrance, we get attracted to it because of its fragrance. And the fragrance coming out of the Mahabharata lotus is so powerful because the smell is the meaning of Bhagavad Gita, which is present in it. So people are drawn to this flower mainly because of the Gandha Utkatam, the smell which is coming out. Mahabharata is popular because of Bhagavad Gita. It is attractive because of Bhagavad Gita. It is known mainly because of Bhagavad Gita present in it, So it is the fragrance of this flower. Then Nana Akhyana Kesaram. Kesaram are the filaments present in the center of the flower, In botany it's called stigma and stamens, And they add to the beauty of the flower, and also they carry the very important pollen in it, So the filaments of this lotus flower, this Mahabharata lotus, are Nana Akhyana. Nana is many, Akhyana are the stories. There are many independent small stories present in this. Mahabharata is one book, but it's full of small stories which deep meaning and a lot of wisdom, In fact, some of the Sanskrit scholars have written independent works on the stories of Mahabharata. And Kalidasa's Shakuntala is one of them. And then Harishchandra ji, the king Harishchandra, the most honest king, his stories from Mahabharata. So a whole lot of these stories are present, and they are the filaments of this lotus flower. Then Hari Katha Sambodhana Abodhitam. Abodhitam means that which is fully blossomed. Abodhitam. So a lotus flower and a lotus bud both look very pretty, But in the bud, the beauty is concealed inside. And in a flower, it is fully revealed, Some people go and pluck a bud and then they open it with their own hands. But that is not as beautiful as a naturally full-blown lotus flower, And actually, we are not supposed to pluck a bud from a tree. The buds are the plant's babies, And as per Dharam Shastra, plucking flowers itself from the tree is a sin. We are not supposed to pluck flowers from the tree. Only the flowers which the tree gives us, which are fallen on the ground, is what we are supposed to take. Those people who grow flowers for commercial purposes, it's totally different. They are earning their living out of it, But the rest of the human beings should not pluck flowers. Actually, we are not supposed to disturb this nature at all, It is only the humans who are the culprits, Nice flower, pluck it. Nice bird, cage it. Nice animal moving around, catch it, bring it home. I like it. Arey? You are not supposed to disturb this nature, otherwise law of karma is going to sort you out, So plucking flowers is a sin, and leave alone that bud we should never touch. That's the baby of the plant, So here, Abodhitam, this flower, this Mahabharata lotus is fully bloomed, and the cause of this blooming is Sambodhana, the narratives of Harikatha, Bhagavan Krishna's stories, full of Bhagavan Krishna's stories, and this is the reason it is blooming so beautifully, So the filaments are the different short stories which are present, and this blooming is because of Bhagavan Krishna's stories. Then Loke, in this world, Sajjana. Sajjan are the noble, wise people of this world, They are compared to Shatpadai. Shatpadai are the 6-legged honeybees. So just like wherever there is flower, there's going to be nectar in it, and the honeybees get attracted to it. They come and suck the nectar and they make honey out of it. Similarly, the wise people of this world, they get attracted to the nectar of wisdom of this lotus flower, So the other people are not interested, but somehow the wise people will pepiyamanam muda. Muda is happily pepiyam. They keep on drinking this wisdom ahar, day in and day out, If, the amazing part of the scriptures is that you are never done reading with it, As a person who enjoys Vidya Ananda knows that, People who are busy in Vishaya Ananda, they have no clue about this Ananda. This is the highest, subtlest joy a person can get. And the scriptures are amazing because, when you read it the first time, you'll get one meaning. And then the second time you read, you'll get a deeper meaning. Then you read again, you'll understand, oh, this is what it meant, And we've been reading it. But every time you read, a new meaning gets revealed, you know. So they are not done reading. Ahar, ahar, day in and day out. Pepiyamana muda, they drink this nectar happily. Somewhere this wisdom is being given, they run to go and listen. If it's this thing, they want to read about it, you know. So this flower, this lotus flower of Mahabharata is very attractive to the wise people. They keep drinking. So, may bhuyat bharat pankajam, may this be for our shreyase. May this change our personality, may it help us change this world. We change ourselves and we help to change this world. So, this is the first shloka. Then we read the next one. Mukam karoti vachalam.
Mukam karoti vachalam.
Pangum langhayate girim.
Pangum langhayate girim.
Yat kripa tamaham vande.
Yat kripa tamaham vande.
Paramananda madhavam.
Paramananda madhavam.
Very famous shloka. Mukam means the mute. Karoti makes. Vachalam, eloquent. Pangum, a lame person. Langhayate, crosses. Girim, mountain. Yat kripa, by whose kripa. Tam aham, to him I. Vande, my vandanas, my pranam. Who is Paramananda Madhavam, who is Bhagavan Krishna. One of the names of Bhagavan Krishna is Madhavam, and who is Param Ananda. So this shloka is mainly emphasizing about Bhagavan's grace, his kripa, and in saying aham vande, to that Bhagavan, my vandanas, my pranams to that Bhagavan who is Param Ananda. He is Param Ananda because he is an avatara, he knows his true nature, which is Sat, Chit and Ananda. He knows himself as Brahman. And also Bhagavan Krishna's personality was happiness personified. He's one of the happiest Bhagavans we have, you know, cheerful, happy, even naughty, you know, doing all sorts of gadbad, stealing makhan and breaking those handis and teasing the gopis and having fun with the cowherds and playing with the cows. What a lovely personality. That is why on Janmashtami that handi breaking thing is there, no? It's a huge thing in Bombay, the pyramids they make and they break the handi, you know, because Bhagavan used to do that. So his personality is happiness personified and he knows that he is happiness. So Paramananda Madhavam. Madhavam means Lakshmi Pati. Shri Pati. Ma means Lakshmi Ji. Dhava means her husband. Now here he is being addressed as wife's husband. Again, how much importance is given to the wife, you know. So she holds such a big stature there in the family. Wife's Lakshmi Pati, you know. So Bhagwan has Lakshmi Ji on his side, and wherever Bhagwan is present, Lakshmi Ji has to be present. वो उनकी अर्धांगिनी है, you know. So, but Lakshmi Ji doesn't mean money. Lakshmi Ji means wealth. And the greatest wealth is wisdom. Vidyadhanam sarvadhanat pradhanam. Mere money is a source of big problem. You know, it can create so much of trouble. Lakshmi Ji can be a source of ananda when Saraswati Ji's blessing is there also on the person, you know. So my vandanas to Madhavam, who is Paramananda, and whose kripa is what this shloka is talking about. So grace, Bhagavan's grace is being highlighted here. And grace is that which has to be earned. Grace is not that which Bhagavan goes on randomly distributing to whomever he wants to. Then Bhagavan would be partial, you know. And the only one who is not partial, who is absolutely fair and just is Bhagavan. We don't need jack and pull like we do, especially in our country, for any work to be done. Oh, you have a mama, chacha sitting somewhere in the department, so our work is going to be done. No, no. You just live your life rightly, and you see how Bhagavan helps you. You know, his grace is going to be there. So grace is a graceful expression of karma phala. the phala for the karmas which we have done either in the immediate past or in the remote past. But when that phala is going to come and how much that phala is going to come is in Bhagavan's hand, because he takes many factors into account to give his grace when he is going to give. That also is in his account. And we pray for that. And so prayer is also a karma. And every karma is going to give karma phala. So prayer also gives us phala, And the phala is of two types, drishta phala and adrishta phala. So the drishta phala of prayer is this psychological relief, this relaxation in the mind the devotee gets, because now he has somebody to rely upon. And that somebody is the limitless, omniscient, almighty God. He is relying upon him. Bhagwan hai na, kuch nahi hota, no problems. God is there for me. I know I will take the biggest challenges in life because God is there with me. So this is the drisht phala. It's just like having a huge reservoir of water close by, where there's so much of water that you have no problems over, there's going to be no water shortage, We don't have to bring all the water home because of insecurity. And even if our receptacle of water is small, it doesn't matter. Just knowing that there is so much water there, we are relaxed, So just knowing that Bhagwan is there for me, the mental relaxation comes, It's like, वो गठरी उतार के रख दिया, I'm relaxed. I don't have to carry this burden of life on my own shoulders. God is there for me, So this is the drisht phala of prayer. Then there is adrishta phala. Every karma is going to give adrisht, unseen, invisible result, which is called grace. And people call it luck, by chance. Oh, I got lucky. By chance that worked out for me, Oh, I didn't expect this. It just happened for me. I got lucky. It's not lucky. It's Bhagwan's grace. Even in hospitals, one doctor is treating two same kind of patients. One heals up, the other doesn't. And so many times we hear the doctors saying, we've done our best. Now you pray to God. Get His kripa. So His kripa is required. So here it is saying that because of His kripa, Mukam karoti vachalam, a dumb person starts talking. And it can happen the other way around also. Vachalam mukam karoti. Talk too much, brag too much, show off too much, then God knows appropriate means to silence you, So better have your head on the shoulder and feet on the ground, and don't fly too high for these petty worldly achievements. What is this? Nothing, But some people, my God, how much you hear, you don't even want to converse because every sentence is about their achievement in life, But then God will vachalam ko mukam karoti very well, So mukam karoti vachalam. And mukam also means those dull, dim-witted people, who are not very intelligent. We say, that person's dumb. So that is not really dumb in the sense can't talk, but he's unintelligent also. So sometimes you see the unintelligent, how suddenly they become bright. They call themselves late bloomers, Oh, I was a late bloomer, in the beginning, early years of my school, all dumb, failing and all that. Suddenly class 8th, 9th and the person's, coming first in class. So this is Bhagwan's grace coming, And then there is this Kalidasa was one example. He was also mukam only, in the beginning. And later the way the verses started coming out of his mouth, he became so intelligent. Even Valmiki ji, he was a robber. And with Bhagwan's grace, he became Rishi Valmiki. He wrote Valmiki Ramayana and all that, So Bhagwan's grace can do miracles here. So then he says, Pangum Langhayate Girim. Lame people can climb mountains with Bhagwan's kripa, Now there are so many amputees you hear about who have climbed the Everest and so many other peaks, There's this lady, Arunima Sinha is her name, She's the first woman amputee who's conquered the Everest, and she has conquered many other peaks also. She was a national volleyball player, and one day she was traveling in a train, And these gundas, they 3-4 of them, they attacked her, And because she's a player, she resisted. She didn't give in so easily, So they picked her up and threw her out of the train. And her leg came on the track and one of the leg got cut. So she was lying there the whole night in that condition. Morning, some people saw her and they took her to the hospital where her leg was amputated. But this woman didn't quit, She is today the first woman amputee to have climbed the Everest and so many higher peaks. This guts, this grit and willpower is only Bhagwan's kripa. Then we see so many para-Olympic champions. They are lame people, So from where does this guts come? Otherwise, anybody would be so depressed that this is not there, I don't have this. No, just Bhagwan's kripa is required, द्वार दया का जब तू खोले, पंचम सुर में गूंगा बोले, अंधा देखे लंगड़ा चलकर पहुँचे काशी रे, darshan do Bhagwan. Beautiful bhajan. What you read is Bhagwan's kripa, Pray for that, do your best. And for a student of Bhagavad Gita, what is the girim here? Understanding and assimilating the meaning of these 700 shlokas of Bhagavad Gita, but with yat kripa, but Bhagwan's kripa, for a sincere student. Without sincerity, it's not going to happen. For a sincere student, the student is just going to langhayate giram. He's going to cross this. So now we're going to read the final Dhyan shloka. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha
Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha
Stunvanti Divyaistavaihi
Stunvanti Divyaistavaihi
Vedai Sangapada Kramopanishadaihi
Vedai Sangapadramopanishadaihi
Gayanti Samgaha
Gayantiyam Samagaha
Dhyanavastitadgatena manasa
Dhyanavastitadgatena manasa
Pashyantiyam yoginaha
Pashyantiyam yoginaha
Yasyantam na vidu sura surganaha
Yasyantam navidukkhasaraganaha
Devaya tasmai namaha
Devaya tasmai namaha
Devaya tasmai namaha
Devaya tasmai namaha.
So whenever a stotra is ending or couple of shlokas are ending, the last few words are repeated 2 times to indicate the conclusion. So this we are concluding here. So here in this shloka, Yam means who, Brahma means Brahmaji, Varun, Indra, Rudra, Marutaha are devatas in the heaven. Stunvanti, pray, sing, Divyaistavaihi, with divine hymns. Vedaihi, Sanga Pada Kramo Upanishadaihi. Gayanti Yam Samgaha, Yam, whom, Samgaha, the singers of Samveda, invoke him by singing. Gayanti, Vedai, Upanishadai, Sanga. They pray by chanting the Vedas, Upanishads, and Sanga. Sanga are the Vedangas. They are secondary scriptures. By Pada and Krama, these are the methods of chanting. There are many, many methods of chanting. 2 are mentioned here. Then Yam Yoginaha, whom the yogis, the wise people, Pashyanti, see, they realize, Dhyana Avasthita, in the state of meditation, by Tadgatena Manasa, by directing their minds towards him. Yes, whose antam, limit, na viduhu, do not know, suras and asura ganaha, those people who are suras, the devatas and the demons, they do not know. To that Bhagwan, my namaha. So here, starts with saying, Dasmai Devai Namaha, my prostrations to Bhagavan Krishna, who is called Deva here. The word Deva has got different meanings in different contexts, but the root meaning of Deva is self-effulgent, the light of consciousness by which we know everything. The gods with small g are also known as Devas, Devatas. Then our sense organs are called Devatas because we see the world by these sense organs. And Bhagwan is called Deva here because he's all knowing. Because of him, we know everything, That is Bhagwan. He's the Deva, consciousness, the light of consciousness. Devon ke Dev. Bhagwan is Devon ke Dev. He is the God of all the gods. He is the highest Devata. So, this Bhagwan, whom I am doing my namaskara to, him, whom, Brahma ji, and Varun, Indra, Rudra, Marutaha, all these devatas who are mentioned in the scriptures, they stunvanti, they praise him, they worship him by divyaistavaihi, by divine hymns. Now, Brahma ji is one of the trinities, he is the creator of this world. But here it's mentioned that he also prays to Vishnu Bhagwan. And Bhagwan Krishna is an avatar of Vishnu Bhagwan. So how great Vishnu Bhagwan is, this is what is being shown here, that even Brahmaji prays. From Brahmaji downwards there in the heaven, everybody is praying to Bhagwan Krishna, So these come under the Devatas and Bhagwan Brahmaji, This line is showing about all the people in heaven who worship Bhagwan Krishna, Then on earth, who is worshipping? Samagaha, Yam Samagaha Gayanti. The Samagaha are the who chant the Samaveda. Samaveda is chanted very musically, and that is why this name is used very often, because it's a very musically chanted Veda, But this includes the other three Vedas also. And in the Vedas, the Upanishad is present. So here it says Upanishadaihi in the Vedas. And Sangha means the Vedangas. We have 4 Vedas and we have 6 Vedangas. These are secondary scriptures who help us to understand what the Vedas are saying, and they also elaborate on what the Vedas are saying, So the study of the Vedangas is, in fact, initially when people go to study the scriptures, they are taught Vedangas first, and then the Vedas. And these are chanted in different methods of chanting, and 2 of them are mentioned here, called Pada and Krama. Now the way we are chanting, Parthaya, Pratibodhitam, separate, that is Pada chanting. Krama chanting is 2 words together. Parthaya Pratibodhitam, Pratibodhitam Bhagavata. Oh, it's a very, very complex chanting, and this is only 2 words. So complex chantings we have, and these people are, absolutely masters in that chanting. So this is a method of prayer. They are praying to God by chanting the Vedas, a very high level of prayer, Then Yam Yoginaha, the yogis, the wise people, they pashyanti, they don't see in form, but that is realization. When dhyana avasthita, in the state of meditation, when tadgatena mansa, when they direct their mind towards Bhagwan, So the devotees see the Bhagwan outside, but the yogis see the Bhagwan inside, And there is this ladder of worship which everyone has to climb, There is a huge ladder of worship. The worship starts with kayika worship. Doing kayika is this physical body, So when we worship Bhagwan using our physical body, abhishekam, chandan, kumkum, phool, we are doing what? Kayika worship. Very basic primary worship, which is where we start. Kayika. First step in the ladder of worship, kayika worship, Then we have to progress. We can't stick there, As we study, we learn, we progress. Then is Vachika worship. In Vachika worship, you are supposed to chant stotras, hymns, shlokas, mantras. These have to be learnt so that your worship is getting refined, So that is loud, initially it is loud chanting, Vachika chanting. Then you have to make it Upamshu, soft, whispering, just for myself, only I am hearing. You're progressing in worship, Then it has to be Manasa Puja. The entire puja ritual is done in the mind. The whole thing, no body used, no mouth is used, Only the mind is being used. Very high worship, Then you have to progress from there also. Then dhyana, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. So in samadhi, there is savikalpa samadhi and there is nirvikalpa samadhi. So you start concentrating, start meditating upon God, and first you meditate upon the form of God, called Savikalpa Samadhi. And then on the formless God, Nirvikalpa Samadhi. And then you have to transcend the mind for self-realization. That's the highest kind of worship. Studying Vedanta is the highest kind of worship. It is not just study, we are worshipping God by studying. In Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says that the Jnani is the one who is most dearest to me. I love the Jnani the most. It said it in clear words. So studying Vedanta is the highest worship, And always, in the highest, the number is always less, Like this is a PhD class with 2 or 3 students, In an undergraduate course, you'll find 100 students. Next, post-graduation, 10, 15 students. PhD, 1, 2. Only that much reach there. So here, this is a PhD class going on, So just handful of people. But be sure, you're doing the highest worship. So that you've climbed the ladder of worship. That is why you're here. You cannot be here otherwise, So that's the high worship. So here, he is saying to that, and yes, yantam, whose, yes is whose, antam, limit, na vidu, sur and asuras, they're talking about those people in heaven. Asuras on the world are those who are always indulging in sensual gratification, sensual pleasure. They're all asura category, So the good people can be considered suras, and these people all asuras, So in the heaven also we have, that Samudra Manthan took place between the Devatas and the asuras, So neither of them know Bhagwan's limit. So it's not that these devatas who are there, they are enlightened. No, they are just exalted jivas, and they become devatas because in their cosmic bank they had mostly punya karmas, So they didn't get a human life, they became devatas, but they are not really enlightened. And they get a chance for enlightenment if Brahmaji teaches them in Brahmaloka, gives them Brahma Vidya there. That also depends upon their punya karmas, And if they don't get the Brahma Vidya there, then they have to come back to earth. Shine Punye Martilokam Vishanti. Come back to this Martiloka, the people, world of the mortals, And then you make an effort here again. But because Devatas are such good people, they will make very quick efforts here, But there, it's not necessary that they are enlightened. The Devatas are all not enlightened. Imagine you can get enlightened here and Devatas are not enlightened. Very big moral encouragement, that you are very close to enlightenment and Devatas are not. So they do not know what is the limit. They think, that Bhagwan is a person. In the beginning, scriptures are also telling like that, Bhagwan, because the devotee's mind is not ready to understand the formless God, the transcendental God. To grasp this has to mature, So in the beginning, they all think that, and these devatas and asuras, they don't know that Bhagwan's limit. To that Bhagwan, tasmai devaya namah, my namah to that Bhagwan, whom the people in the heaven, they worship by singing all sorts of hymns, divine hymns, whom the Vedikas, they worship by chanting the Vedas, whom the yogis worship by pashyanti, by seeing him in meditation, and whose limit is not known by most of the people, including the Devatas and the Asuras. To that Bhagwan, my Namaha. And we also do our nama to that Bhagwan, that, hey Bhagwan, please give your grace to us so that this knowledge can fructify. Your teachings can be assimilated. Understanding and assimilation are two different things. You can understand and remain a samsari. You assimilate and you cross this samsara ocean, So Bhagwan ka grace is required so that we can assimilate this knowledge. Bhagavad Gita is teaching a human being to live this life intelligently, and reach the goal of moksha, Only a human being has this supreme intelligence and also a free will. Free will, we have a choice in doing what we are doing. That's called a free will. And once Prakriti, that is Maya, gives a human being a free will, Prakriti stops evolving. Then it gives the burden of evolution to the person who's got the free will. So a human being has to evolve with his own effort from animal man to man to God man. You have to evolve yourself like this, Most of the people here are living like animal men, Getting this human sharira after I don't know how many janmas, don't know what all shariras we have worn, and today we are wearing this human sharira, You can't let this life go wasted. Ramayan says, Bade bhag manush tan paya. With a lot of punyas you have got the sharira. This is one chance to get out of this sorrow go round. And it is being wasted by most of the people. So there was this monk, he was a sannyasi living in a small hilly town, and his kutia was close to a small hillock. And the town people thought that this sannyasi is weird, they don't keep doing all strange things. What he would do is, every day in the morning, there was one boulder next to his kutia. He would just push that boulder and take it to the top of the hillock. He would start like early in the morning, and by afternoon he's at the top of the hillock, and then from there he'll push it and that boulder comes rolling down and he stands there and claps, ha 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 ha, he. So the people wondering like, what is wrong with this chap? So one day one person went and asked him like, what do you keep doing? Like every day, day in and day out, you're pushing that boulder on top and then throwing it down and doing ha 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 ha, he. He says, I'm just imitating you all. What all you people are doing is as worthless as pushing a boulder on top, and all the time you're going ha 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 he for no rhyme or reason. So this is what you are doing. Can you open your eyes and change what you are doing here? So this, we can't afford to live as animals over here, eat, sleep, gratify. This life, an animal life, is not meant for a human being, but unfortunately most of the humans are doing just that. That is why the scriptures say, Manushya Rupena Mrigascharanti. Charanti is moving around, Mrigascha, these animals. So in Manushya Rupa, these animals are moving around because they don't know what they are doing. They think life is like stringing whole lot of temporary pleasant experiences. This is what life is, they have understood what life is all about. It is like, a driver coming to an intersection and there are two roads there in front. One is a beautifully paved road, it's got lights and it's got trees full of flowers, and the other road is a track which has no light. Now this driver has to take a road which will take him to his destination, So for that he has to know where he is going. Most of the humans don't know the destination of life. So if the destination is only not known, then how can they even look for the map to reach the destination? Now if this driver takes that paved road because it looks so attractive, they don't know where he is going to reach. And even if that track is so bad, but that is going to take him to the destination, then if he's sensible, he's going to take that road to reach his destination. So the humans here don't know the destination, they're blissfully ignorant about the destination of life, and so they're not even bothered to find the map for this destination. And Vedanta is giving us the destination, and it's also giving the road map. Every chapter of Bhagavad Gita ends by saying, Iti Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre. Brahma Vidya is the destination, which the scriptures call Sadhya. That is where I have to reach. And Yoga Shastra is the means to reach there. It is the sadhana, it is the map which is given by the scriptures. So one has to very seriously get down to brass tacks that this life I have to somehow get this moksha, not get distracted. Maya is very so tempting here. There's so much around in this world. But we have to not get tempted by this world and remain focused on what we have to do here, what we have come here for, So Bhagavad Gita, whoever studies seriously, is definitely going to reach the destination of life, and Bhagavad Gita is giving the map, So Bhagavad Gita is supposed to be, very poetically said, it is philosophy married to poetry, living in a house of ecstasy, because this is, so whoever wants to reach ecstasy, you want to live a proper life, you want to be ecstatic all the time, then you have to study this philosophy which is given so poetically, And the subject matter of this, main subject matter of Bhagavad Gita is the cause of grief in life and how to cross it. So the one who wants to cross grief for good has to study Bhagavad Gita, and we are going to start Bhagavad Gita from next class. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Hari Om Shanti 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 Hari Om.